Hello everyone, in this video we are going to look at a comprehensive example of calculating diluted earnings per share. The company has $2,800 net income. The income tax rate is 30%. 900 shares of common shares. Common stock was outstanding. And then there's an option outstanding the entire year. The assumed exercise of this option would result in the issuance of 85 common shares. Okay. Now, option is always dilutive because you just increase the number of shares. So you will increase the denominator, going to be dilutive if the numerator is positive. Okay. And then we have this 100 shares of 8%, $100 par, convertible preferred stock, issued at par, outstanding the entire year. $800 dividend were declared. Each share of preferred stock is convertible into 4 shares of common stock. So these are convertible securities that may result in an increase in common stocks. So there are 100 shares of convertible preferred stocks, $100 par. The dividend rate is 8%. So the preferred stock dividend is 8% times $100 times 100 shares, $800. And if this preferred stock are converted into common stocks, the company doesn't have to pay this $800. Now there are 100 preferred stock shares, and then they are convertible into 4 common shares. So that means 400 new common shares will be issued if these preferred stock are converted. So the impact on tentative dilutive earnings per share is an increase in the numerator by 800 and an increase in denominator by 400. So the result is 2. Okay. We don't know yet whether it's going to be dilutive or anti-dilutive depending on the earnings per share and depending on the other security, which is bonds. So convertible bonds, $5,000 face value. The bonds have a stated rate of 6%. So $5,000 face value, 6% interest. That means we have to pay interest $300. Okay. But were issued at discount. Bond interest expense of $320 was recorded. The total discount is $20. So amortization of discount is $20. Interest payment is $320. And if you remember chapter 14, when there is a discount, the interest expense will be the interest payment plus the amortization of discount, $320. The tax is 30% because interest is tax deductible. The net interest for the company is 1 minus tax rate times 320. So 224 is the real interest because you have to pay interest 320, but you save your tax by 30%. So net of tax is 224. The number of $1,000 bonds is going to be 5. $5,000 face value divided by 1,000, so we get 5. Conversion rate, each $1,000 bond is convertible into 32 shares of common stocks. 32 conversion rate. So we will get 160 new common shares. Okay, so the denominator will go up by 160 if it was converted. And if it was converted, we didn't have to pay the $224 tax. Okay, the impact on tentative dilutive earnings per share is 1.4. Okay, so that's the first ranking, and that's the second ranking. So we can do it in that order, okay? But before this, we have to first assume the options are converted because that's a dilutive. Okay, basic earnings per share is net income divided by shares outstanding, 900. Okay, we have to deduct the preferred stock dividend to calculate the basic net earnings per share. So the earnings per share is $2.22. Okay, net income minus the preferred stock dividend divided by the outstanding shares. Okay, now let's assume we exercise all the options. Doesn't have any impact on the numerator, but the denominator will increase by 85. Okay, so we're going to calculate 2,000 divided by 985. Okay, equals, hey, I didn't know I can do that. Okay, so this is 85. Okay, so the new earnings per share is 203, which is dilutive because it's less than the basic earnings per share. Okay, so option will always have a dilutive impact, and we should go for option first. And then we move to rank number 1, which is the convertible bonds. Convertible bonds, we can save the interest of 224, and then the denominator will go up by this one here, 160. Okay, so the numerator becomes 2,000 plus 224. The denominator becomes 985 plus 160. So the new earnings per share is going to be 1.94 if the convertible bonds are converted. That's again is a dilutive earnings per share because it's less than 2.03. And finally, we move to rank number 2, which is the convertible preferred stock. So let's see what happens. With convertible preferred stocks converted into common stock, we don't have to pay the dividend. So we have to add by 800 dividend. And the conversion results in 400 new common stock. So the numerator will go up by 800. The denominator will go up by 400. Okay, so we can calculate the earnings per share 1.96. Now, because 1.96 is higher than the previous one, 1.94, this is an anti-dilutive impact that we're seeing here. So that means the convertible preferred stock should not be assumed to be converted to calculate the diluted earnings per share. We stop here after the assumption of converting the convertible bonds. Okay, so that's how we calculate the earnings per share, how we take into consideration the options, the convertible bonds, and the convertible preferred stock. And we will stop reporting as soon as the addition, the conversion of that, preferred stock results in anti-dilutive amount of earnings per share. Thank you for watching.